Good afternoon. I'm Dana Tyler in the CBS2 newsroom, and this is an update for you. We're, of course, following the breaking news on that massive steam pipe explosion in the Flatiron District this morning. The explosion sent debris flying on 5th Avenue between 21st and 22nd Streets. These photos show the huge cloud of steam billowing into the air and the cracked ground. 5 people suffered minor injuries. Mayor de Blasio just announced that tests for particles in the air are positive for asbestos contamination in the area.
Was asbestos in the steam line casing? That's obviously a real concern to us. So we've confirmed the presence of asbestos. We have also tested the air since the time of the incident. The air cleared fairly quickly after the incident. So the air in this area now is safe. There is no meaningful presence of asbestos in the air at this point. But our concern is the debris that was thrown off by the rupture. Some of that is still visible on the street and on the building facades. That all needs to be cleaned up.
CBS2's Janelle Burrell has more on how everything unfolded right before the morning rush.
As one witness described it, it was like a volcano erupting right underneath 5th Avenue.
I just heard a really loud boom, and there's like, you hear like a steam noise coming out, like a psst type noise, and then we were just told to evacuate our building.
Andrew Glasser was asleep when the high-pressure steam pipe exploded around 6:40 this morning on 5th Avenue near 21st Street. Some say the electricity went off for a few seconds just before the giant plumes of white steam came billowing out of the ground.
I'm just in shock.
Not only did this steam line burst, but it caused a disruption of a gas line, a water main, and some electrical power.
The pressure from the pipe installed in 1932 also causing the pavement around it to crumble.
We saw a good amount of chunk of asphalt.
There were massive plumes of steam coming out, rising up against the buildings.
I assisted some old ladies. I said, don't walk near the manhole covers. Don't go that way. There's an explosion, because no one really knew.
Firefighters worked to clear out some buildings while others were told to shelter in place, including Sonny Adjus, the superintendent of the Flatiron building, who spoke with us by phone from inside, watching the steam rise hundreds of feet.
Like lava coming out of the earth. It's just crazy. The building is locked off and not letting anybody in.
Samples of the air have been taken to a lab to check for asbestos. As a precaution, the FDNY has set up decontamination tents for crews and for anyone who may have been in the area at the time of the explosion. Residents and employees of the zone on 5th Avenue that is shut down now waiting to hear when they'll be able to return.
It's scary. I just hope everything's okay.
Officials say it could take days to decontaminate all of the buildings in this hot zone and for them to reopen. In the Flatiron District, Janelle Burrell, CBS2 News.
This explosion brought back memories for some people. Before I get to that, I want to show you the streets that are closed because of this in the Flatiron District. As you know, the crews are continuing the cleanup and the testing of the 49 buildings, which the mayor said in total could take a couple of days. So here is a look at the street closings. 5th Avenue is closed from 25th Street to 19th. Broadway is closed from 23rd to 17th Street. As far as the cross streets, 19th Street to 22nd Street. Those streets are closed between 5th Avenue and 6th Avenue. And 23rd Street is closed from 6th to Park. Streets could be closed until Saturday or Sunday. As I was saying, this explosion bringing back some memories for some people of something that happened near Grand Central Terminal 11 years ago. So similar. Dozens of people injured in a steam blast at 41st and Lex. And it left a giant crater. A tow truck driver and his passenger were caught in the middle of it all. The driver was severely burned by the steam, and a woman who was trying to leave the area died of a heart attack. Again, this is 11 years ago, 2007, yesterday actually, in a steam pipe explosion in Midtown. New information right now in the Eric Garner case, 4 years after Garner died during an arrest on Staten Island. The arrest caught on video. Sources say the NYPD will immediately begin disciplinary proceedings against Officer Daniel Pantaleo and Sergeant Kizzy Adonis. Pantaleo is seen on the video putting Garner in an apparent chokehold. The Police Benevolent Association says it hopes the NYPD's eagerness does not mean an outcome has already been decided. The PBA says it's confident that Officer Pantaleo will be vindicated. Now to a big story yesterday. This was apparent shark bites off Fire Island. Just this morning, a spokesperson for the town of Islip says that 2 sharks have been caught, both about 100 yards from where one of the children was hurt on Atlantic Beach yesterday. But it is not clear if the sharks that were caught today have anything to do with the bites of yesterday. Today, parents telling CBS2's Jenna DeAngelis they are being extra careful.
That it hit so close to home is, concerning.
This family getting ready to board the ferry to Fire Island for an annual trip never thought they had to worry about sharks. But recent apparent attacks may keep them away from the water this year.
I'm definitely going to think twice. It's just not worth putting her at risk.
Within minutes Wednesday, 2 reported attacks off Fire Island.
I kind of thought it was a dream. I didn't really think it was actually happening.
12-year-old Lola Polina was in waist-deep water at Sailor's Haven when something latched onto her leg.
It was like this tannish, orangey looking like body, and then it was like this small fin on top. And then when I got out, my leg was like bloody.
When I looked back, I see her like in the water, like struggling, her head kind of up.
About 4.5 miles away, another attack. A 13-year-old boy was boogie boarding at a day camp when also bitten.
I brought him out of the water. He had blood on his leg.
Several puncture holes in the form of a bite. It was multi-road, indicative of a shark.
This tooth pulled out of his deep wound, now being analyzed to determine if in fact it came from a shark. In the midst of all this, a shark sighting at Robert Moses.
Everyone started to panic, all the kids were like, what's happening? And all the parents were like, we're gonna leave now, and they just left. The beach was empty for the rest of the day.
Long Island officials call these incidents incredibly rare, but say summer is sharks' mating season. Anything is possible.
Generally, sharks are afraid of humans, and they do not want to be near humans. They're part of the natural environment, and we just urge anyone who's at the beach just to be aware, be smart.
Luckily, both kids are expected to make a full recovery. If you're hopping on the ferry going to Fire Island, beaches are open. Officials say you can expect to see more lifeguards and patrols on the shoreline. And of course, just be careful. In Bayshore, Long Island, Jenna DeAngelis, CBS 2 News.
That includes the beaches, Roberts Moses State Park, and also Jones Beach open. A crackdown on so-called cab hustlers trying to get illegal fares at our airports. The Port Authority police say there has been a dramatic increase in the number of unlicensed drivers cruising terminals looking for illegal fares. Our Marcia Kramer has done several stories on this over the past few years. So get this. So far this year, till mid-July, 515 drivers have been arrested at JFK and LaGuardia airports. Listen to the total for all of last year, 684. We're on course for more than doubling. Police say they're now tracking about 70 repeat offenders. Illegal rides can lead to overcharges, theft, and safety concerns. Police have arrested the driver of a motorcycle after a crash that killed his passenger in East Harlem this morning. Police say the driver was going the wrong direction on 110th Street. Both the driver and his female passenger were thrown from the bike when it struck a speed bump at the intersection at 2nd Avenue. The passenger died at the scene. The driver has been charged with driving without a license. An update right now on the Paramus School District. They're buying 6 new school buses equipped with those 3-point seat belts after the field trip tragedy that left a student and a teacher dead several weeks ago. The district will pay $622,000 for the new school buses. The seat belts will cost another $5,000 per bus. The teacher and a student were killed in May when the bus collided with a dump truck on Route 80. Investigators say the bus driver was trying to make an illegal U-turn onto Route 80 when it was struck by a dump truck. Weather-wise, it's really a picture-perfect Thursday. Let's hear from John Elliott about what's ahead.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and what a good afternoon it is. In fact, the weather is so picture-perfect. The weather is so nice. I'm not fooling here. Everywhere I go, people just start applauding. Come on, let's move. See what I mean? High pressure's in control. It worked in rehearsal, too. 84, that's the normal high. How about a repeat tomorrow? Great finish. And then, just in time for the weekend. Shift in the wind. So humidity's going to be up a bit. Some of the models are bringing some rain in by Saturday night. Some of the model runs earlier this morning, slowing that low down. So the risk for showers and thunderstorms is late Saturday and could, in fact, be overnight Saturday into the first part of your Sunday, but it does kind of indicate a big change in the pattern. So I will not be I'll be booed next week. There'll be no more of this next week. Today, great. I hope you can enjoy it. Moderate rip current risk for the New York beaches, playing it safe if you're headed there for what will be a beautiful sunset. Great sleeping weather overnight. 67 is in the city. It is cooler for the suburbs and still not that humid. And then tomorrow, nice way to wrap up the work week, and no one would blame you if you took the day off. Well, they might blame you, but you should anyway. It's so nice. And then we see that big change next week.
A new Harvard study says that children of working mothers are just as happy later in life as the children of stay-at-home moms. In the United States, 71% of employed moms have children ages 18 and younger. The study shows daughters of working mothers are more likely to advance. But an interesting point is how it affects sons. The study shows that sons spend 50 more minutes each week caring for family. Reporter Jody Cantor spoke on CBS this morning about even more benefits this has on children.
The headline, in certain ways, is actually what happens to the sons of working mothers, because it turns out that this has a transformative effect on their lives. Not so much on their employment, but on their personal lives, on who they choose as a partner and the time they spend in their own household and with their own kids.
The study also showed that sons of working mothers tend to choose employed spouses and also view workplace gender equality more favorably. Researchers point out that the findings in no way suggest that there are benefits for children of stay-at-home mothers as well, that there are no benefits. Of course, there are. A new art installation coming to the Upper West Side. CBS2's John Diaz takes us, shows us, explains what these wooden sculptures are all about.
These birds aren't migrating south. They're heading north, actually, to Manhattan's Upper West Side. And you can see some of them right here behind me. Now, artist Nicholas Holliber is working with the Broadway Mall Association to build 12 wooden bird sculptures. And come spring of 2019, they will be placed in the Broadway median from 64th Street to 166th Street. Now, he's hoping to raise awareness about climate change. Again, you'll see these on the Broadway median come spring of 2019. For now, reporting here from Brooklyn, John Diaz, CBS2 News.
Unveiled this morning, the winning design for a Central Park monument celebrating women's suffrage. It will show Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony with a ballot box. The monument is set to be finished by 2020 and will be right on the Mall in Central Park. Originally, 90 designs for the sculpture were submitted before the final was chosen today. That's your CBS2 News update. On this very warm Thursday afternoon, stay with us on CBSNewYork.com and also on our CBS New York Facebook and Twitter pages. See you later today. CBS2 News at 5, and I'll see you at 6. I'm Dana Tyler.